Hi everyone. Today, we're not going to go through all the items in our March deliverables, obviously. There are too many, but I am going to pick random folks to give us an update. And you've got time to go a little bit deeper. Feel free to break down each item and give us more context on how those things are going. And then we can update the progress as well. And then after that, we've got some updates from various folks on this call, and then breakout rooms. Okay. Peter, I've got you first. I'm going by these percentages. The lower your percentages, the higher the chances of getting called.
Got it.
So just FYI.
So the 88 Rising, let's do 5% on that. Finally got together with Anders last week, twice. And so working on that. The first couple, we have a list of tasks right now that I just need to put a timeline on. And thankfully for us, a lot of these tasks are on their side. So some of it is really not in our control. The Ghana thing, and need to work with the Africa initiatives, need to work with Adrian when he's back on that, and also with Sam to kind of figure out my role there. I'm more of a support role, and so need to figure that part out. GDC, that's coming along pretty well. I put that at around 40, maybe even 50%. I have a list of targets that I have to meet with that week, and also working with Essa and Nora on the events, both our events as well as other events that we're co-hosting with, as well as kind of non-Harmony events that we will be attending. And so that's where we are.
What was the progress for Africa initiatives?
I'd keep it at 0 for now.
0, okay.
Yeah.
And GDC, did you want to just quickly
Let's
talk
do
about GDC?
45 on that.
Any updates on GDC or what to expect?
Yeah, we have an event that we're co-hosting with a partner that we'll be announcing next week called gmfriends.games. I'm also working with the folks at Sandbox and Polygon on a potential kind of co-hosting party on one of the nights. We have a night that our TGI will be on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we have a party that we're attending that is a FTX and Solana party. And so the goal for GDC is I want to do a lot of market research, number one, because the gaming audience is new. And I'm talking about real gamers, not smart contract devs that think they're gamers, but actual real gamers, game devs. And so I want to do some market research and actually meet with several. Also target a number of indie and small and medium-sized game publishers that are kind of on the fence on whether or not they should consider blockchain and NFTs in their games. And I want to do a lot of kind of bridge building and education, because a lot of the game developers are, there's some history there with, NFTs and kind of blockchain, and how a lot of game developers really don't have, they are very negative towards NFTs and blockchain. And so I want to be sensitive, and I don't want to be tone deaf, and be really sensitive to what the gamers are, like where they're coming from, and meet them where they are. And so that's in general kind of what's going on and what I'm thinking.
Got it. Thanks, Peter. I actually had Jenny on next, but I don't think he's on the call right now. I am going to move on to Essa.
Okay.
Since we're talking about events.
Yeah. So standardized event planning, let's see, I was at 50. I would put that maybe at 60 now. The team has been working really well to work with each other on just delegating the different tasks specifically for each person. And I mean, it's been a little bit more difficult because we do have some people traveling, but so far the team's been really good at at delivering what they need to in that process. We do have some things that we're working on right now. I recently asked for input on narrowing down the main events for every quarter that we'll be sending the team to. And so we have to kind of restructure that and consider, you know, is everybody going to be able to go? Is it too close to another quarterly event that we want to send the team to as well? And so that's all in the works right now, but hopefully after all of these coming events, we can have something next week for that. And then ETH Austin, I have 10 grantees. My partner for that flu is actually in Austin right now, so I'll be flying out there Wednesday. We can move forward with that. Everything else with ETH Austin is I think it's coming along. There's some things that we need to follow up on. I need to speak to Ho Chung this afternoon as well. But I think we can move that to maybe 50%. There are some things that are still unknown with that. And then Coachella activation is probably where it is still. Most of our conversations are still just idea building and trying to understand what our best options are with that, with like financially and with our activation plan, how we're going to be able to attract people at Coachella and what's going to be that. What we're doing in Austin is hopefully going to be a good test run. And I know that we had an activation test run in San Francisco last week with a lot of good feedback. So with every activation, we're hoping to just get more and more feedback to be able to efficiently put a plan in place to be able to attract who we can for that. I think that's it.
Great, thank you.
Mhm.
Next, I've got Konstantin. Go for it.
Yeah, hello. First task is 90% right now. It's partly merged already, but other part in testing right now. Second task is 20%. I'm collecting information about that bug. Third is 0.
RPC performance profiling 0, you said?
Yes, it's 0.
Okay. Next up, who's it gonna be? Dan's not here. Sam, I'm gonna hand it off to you.
Bad idea. I'm just going to talk for the rest of the meeting. Okay, so launching 5 DAO tools. We're actually doing really well. I updated it at the top of this call. We're at 40. It's possibly we're even higher. As some of you guys may have noticed, I got slightly distracted Thursday and Friday of last week managing a different DAO-related task. I'm going to say that. But the takeaways were actually in pretty good shape. We have one tool that'll probably go live this week. DWork is a good tool, and we have a couple other tools that will be going live. By going live, what I mean is they're on mainnet, so people can use them. And more importantly, we have filmed a training webinar that we're putting towards putting up on YouTube, so that people can know how to use this particular tool. So that's our success metric for that. Deploying the DAO dashboard, we're about 30% there. The DAO dashboard is going to give you a one-stop shop to look at where all of the DAOs are, as well as, when I say are, that means, okay, if I want to engage the validator DAO, if I want to engage with the community DAO, then I go to this particular Discord chat, or I go to this Telegram chat. We'll also have a comprehensive list of all of the mandates across all the DAOs. And so as a new DAO comes on board and they may be interested in, let's say, decentralization, they can look to see that there are 33 other DAOs that are focused on decentralization to help them kind of guide, hey, do I want to form my own brand new DAO, or do I want to engage with an existing DAO to accomplish this thing that I'm looking to do? And so that's coming along very nicely. Publishing the 2022 Q1 DAO report. It's at 5% right now, but that's mainly because we're in the information gathering stage. We haven't started writing the actual report. This report is going to cover all of the DAOs that we've looked at in Q1 of 2022, what we have approved, what has been funded, what's gone out, deliverables for these DAOs, and where they currently stand regarding those metrics for the DAOs. This is going to be the first of quarterly reporting in general for the DAO operations team. So at the end of every quarter, you'll see a quarterly report. So that's where we stand with those.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Daniel, I wanted to get an
Next.
update from you and
Sure.
specifically around the Chrome extension sunset.
Yeah. All right, so Chrome extension sunset, I think we had that at an 80%. We can probably bump that up to an 85%. We made some progress recently. Our last announcement around the Chrome extension sunset was that once it hits, the extension wallet would be, rather all features within the wallet would be deactivated except for the export of the private key. We've actually pivoted on that. We heard the community feedback. And so recent changes involve allowing all features to continue post sunset. But the difference is that we're going to push out a release, which I believe is version 1.2.7, which will be posted on the 15th. I'm sorry, version 1.2.7, it's going to allow all features, but we're going to have a disclaimer pop up basically, and it's going to say, hey, this wallet is no longer supported. Please migrate at your earliest convenience. Click here for more information. That's going to lead them to a couple of articles on how to do that. Once they click accept, all features will be available. There'll be a red banner at the bottom, just as a reminder, and they can continue using the wallet at their own risk. But it'll still be available. We've tested 1.2.7 with staking, claiming, sending, receiving, and undelegating. So we've tested 5 core functions of that wallet to make sure that everything's working well. And a next step for Chrome extension would be continuing to reach out to our ecosystem partners and just give them a reminder that the wallet is or will be end of life, and to try and pull that off of their dApps. So making a lot of progress there. Next one is the 10 meetups, 10 meetups that we're holding through the Ambassador DAO. That's both in the US and international as well. We have our 10 cities identified. We have our ambassadors lined up. And at this point, it's just a matter of coordinating the logistics of things like merchandise. Rachel, I think Rachel's on this call. We have the 10 ambassadors lined up, right? I think at this point, it's just a matter of communicating with them on and rather finalizing some of those details, right?
Well, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, so I actually created a chat on Telegram for all of our ambassadors to come together. I created a chart and I'm having them go in and fill in the dates, location, and the best mailing address for us to get merch to them. And we've decided for the first round of events that we're just going to go with simple merch and not have city-specific logos on the merchandise yet. Just so we can start streamlining the process and get it out and just start doing the events for this month. And yeah, we aim to hit 10 cities for this month. Awesome.
Yeah, that's another update on the meetups that we're doing. Is we're going to be using some basic badges and images for the merchandise that we'll be shipping out short term. Long term, what we're looking at is city specific badges on t-shirts with the standard Harmony logo, Harmony on the front, and possibly the Ambassador DAO written underneath. So that should be pretty neat when we start shipping that out for our meetups as we continue to scale through the year. And finally, the Timeless Wallet social media campaign. So that working with the Timeless team, we haven't made a lot of progress since last week, but we just need to catch up. And so nothing too much to share there. I don't think that needs to change percentage wise. On the 70% for 10 meetups, we could probably move that up to 75%. So on the first one, 80 to 85, 70 to 75, and then the third we can leave as is.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And the last one, a bunch of folks are away, so That's a shame, but Hawkwan has joined us. Thanks for being here, Hawkwan. Give us an update on your progress, and then tell us about whole thing ZK DAO.
Yeah. So I think maybe I can go backwards. And so the first one would be ZK products. So we have 8 products that are in various stages of being, I mean, they're all on testnet, but I'm trying to push them to go to mainnet now. And obviously it can be done. They can just move it to mainnet. But I think the past graduates and that are the developers, they want to get their product more refined. So it's just this ongoing push, and I try to tell them you should just jump off the cliff and launch your product and get users, then you can refine. But understandably, they are responsible for the protocol, so they try to, sharpen it better so that they can see the world when they're in better shape. So I think that is just a matter of that push-pull that I just described. So I can say 70% done. So CKU, the second cohort, we're hoping to basically 3x from here. And so it might sound not a lot because from 8 to 3x is just 25, but of course currently we have 170 students, and that reflects the operation kind of involved is that we are not getting, to be fair, we're not getting the top CK experts into our course or into our ecosystem right here. So the approach is much more bottom up. We're getting basically anyone who can write a smart contract in Solidity and try to train them from there to launching the product in 2 months. So the whole process is pretty intense and somewhat Darwinian. And right now our dropout rate are still pretty high. But I hope that after this round, we will get better as the reputation of CKU grows. We'll get stronger candidates and the dropout will be better. But even at this rate, I think we got this. We can 3x this round. And then if we 5x next round, then we'll have 100 people by July or something. So behind all this is the biggest thing would be ZK DAO. That is, we just got funded. We wrote a proposal that is maybe longer than some other DAO proposals, but I think it's necessary because we're asking for quite a lot of money there. I think I'm very pleased and maybe somewhat uncomfortably pleased that we haven't gotten as much scrutiny from the community, but I almost want to open it up because we are taking that much money. I think we should make it, everyone should know what we are doing there. The idea is if we really do hit our target of reaching 100 developers by July, and if each of them get the launch grants, then we need to have $10 million ready for them. Now, I don't think we would actually spend the $10 million that quickly because some of them would not reach milestone 5 anytime soon. But if they do, then that would be $10 million. And also, we are not also capping our class, right? Because we are really trying to scale as fast as possible. So we might end up having quite a lot more than 100. And it would be silly for them to say, well, then it's out of budget. We should kick you out and ask you to come back 3 months later. So somehow we are planning to almost dish out ideally $10 million of grant money from our launch grants. And so the operation, we did the math, we need about 10% of operation costs, which then goes into ZK DAO budget for the next few months. And so it's pretty intense. A lot of it goes to the studying incentives because we're getting people from scratch. A lot of these people are just at the tipping point of quitting their day job, so we pay them to learn. And then also in the same context, we're trying to translate the launch grant money if they are interested to park their money into our DAO, and then from there we give them basic income up to $15,000 a year. So many of these developers, we will be able to retain them and convince them that they can just build whatever they want because they would be guaranteed a basic income. And that income basically comes from an endowment that we translate from the launch grant amounts. Yeah, so that's basically the ZK DAO, which I'm very excited about.
Very nice. Thanks, Hawkwan. Sam's got a question.
I do. Hawkwan, have you written up anything about how you guys are managing your treasury? I'd love to look at that a little bit closer and see how Like you are asking your members of your DAO to contribute to the DAO treasury, and then they get basic income and all that stuff.
Yeah. So in the proposal, we have a bit of details. And as
Mhm.
we are speaking, we are now finalizing our constitution, which will also be uploaded to the forum. And in fact, someone suggests we upload it to some even more permanent place. So it would basically, the people with DBIs would have voting powers, which means that I won't have voting powers, because you can only get voting powers by launching through the launch grant, and then that launch grant becomes our endowment. So those people who get DBIs would then vote on all the investment decisions. So the basic, I think for now, we would park most of that money into Anchor, which would give us 20%. But I think, having studied Anchor a bit in more detail, I'm not optimistic that the 20% would last forever. And so some of the money, so we are now paying people 15% from that endowment. So the extra 5% and other spare change, we would then formulate a plan, an investment plan, with help from a couple of VCs that have gotten in touch. And one of the KuCoin representative is also on our DAO now. And KuCoin has committed to putting $2 million of VC funds into our DAO products. So with these inputs, we will formulate a plan, and with all the parameters will be voted by all the DAO members, like how we allocate the different tranches, how aggressive we should go, etc.
Right. No, I absolutely love this, because this goes directly to one of the core principles of DAOs, which is this material and interest in the success of the DAO. Like, you're asking the people to not just show up and work, but you're also asking them show up, work, and put skin in the game. So I really like it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's pull up some fellows here. Devin.
Oh no.
You're up,
How are
man.
you? So I think Sam really covered the DAO tools aspect of what I've been working on with Rachel and the DAO Ops team. So I'll move on to NFTLA to really highlight that, because I'm excited about that. So this is an event I'm running lead on. It's from March 28th to 31st. We will be a lead sponsor there. We'll have stage time, booth, all that fun stuff. But the more exciting thing, I think I'm more excited about, is the side event we're doing. So we're going to do a few TGI dinners, and then the one big event. We're getting the venue space locked in now and should have that contract signed by today or tomorrow. And essentially what it's going to be, from 3 to 5 on the 29th, we will have let's call it Shark Tank style, one pitch is what we're going to call it, where creators can come pitch their ideas, NFT or metaverse related, and we'll have a team there giving out micro grants to those creators, as well as the MAD NFT team, which is the new NFT marketplace, who will be co-sponsoring this event with us. They will be there to facilitate onboarding of those creators to their marketplace on the spot. There'll be a gallery there highlighting the female NFT artists on the MAD website, and they will have their metaverse build out as well. I'll be sharing a tweet in a little bit, right after this call, actually, with the MAD new metaverse build out that people will have. We'll have Oculus there, and you can try those out, which would be really cool. And then that will tail into the Blue Builders after party, which will just be like a low-key cocktail hour from 5 to 10 or 5 to 9, sorry. And just meet new builders, meet people who are in the space who are doing cool things. Maybe some more Project Y grants will be given out there. And then we'll move to some other co-sponsored events that we're doing that are still in the works. We'll also have a hackathon going on in the metaverse. And so there will be 3 prizes that are NFT and metaverse related. And those winners will be announced on the 31st in the metaverse. And there will be some other small speaking engagements and a metaverse DJ that will go on. So that's pretty much the schedule and itinerary from a high level perspective for NFTLA. Should be a really great event. And I think that pretty much covers the percentages are probably spot on for where I'm at. So thank you, Give.
Thank you, Devin. Rosa, we haven't heard from you. Tell us about Latin DAO.
Yeah, I'm working with Boris and Jose that are right now in Rio. We already have 3 potential governors, so working well with that. And that's the mix we have right now. Some debate is on how we're going to organize, the priorities about the languages, taking into account that Brazilian is different from Spanish, so it's a longer debate, or if we include Spain into LATAM or not based on the language. We are more into a yes, and if Spanish people want to be excluded, it's more like they don't feel they are not part of that. But right now we think it's better to do something bigger and more inclusive. And then if we need to split for different geographies, more or less following, as Lee suggested, Africa's idea from Africa DAO, and then decide if we need to do some more based governance on topics and countries and geographies. So that would be all. And right now, I think Jose and Boris, who are both in LATAM right now, could have more information soon. So that could be from my side.
Great, thank you. Okay, so we're not going to go through all of these, but I'd like to get an update just from the engineering team. RJ, any notable updates here?
Yeah, so we finally finished the cross-shard smart contract design. So with the design actually posted in the forum, so it's open. Everybody can check it out and give feedback and comments. So our design consider all the incentive about transaction fee cross-shard and also all the security aspect of cross-shard smart contract costs. So it's not like a direct calling from one shard to the other shard smart contract. It's more based on the message passing model, which is more secure. And all the smart contract that want to support cross-shard kind of functionality or communication need to implement kind of a special receiver method so that they can process those cross-shard messages like specifically, right? Where you implement the functionality such as sending a ERC20 kind of token, where from the first shard, you reduce some of the token, and from the destination shard, with a special method, you process that message and you credit those tokens to the destination address. So this model is more efficient and also takes care of all the gas fee kind of abusage. So with this, actually, it opens the world to build multi-shard applications. Things like DeFi Kingdom, they actually can launch another realm just on the other shard. And they actually don't need any bridges to talk to this different shard. They can just directly send the token from like shard 0 to the other shard, as long as they implement this special receiver method on their token contract. So this design is already completed, and next step we're gonna start implementing it next. On the efficient signature collection, the code is revived and also resolved with the latest code to avoid any conflicts. So it's ready for another round of review, and also after that, we can put it into testnet. On the other side, I think Max and Konstantin are all making good progress on further improving some of the on-chain features and also some of the inefficiencies. For example, Max already implemented the validator wrapper pooling so that our archival node right now is a couple of terabytes, but after that it can save maybe a big, a few dozens of percentage of storage space can be saved. And also he implemented like reducing the delegation index data. So right now we have tens of thousands of delegation records on the mainnet, and lots of them may be like stale data because those delegation records already are removed or already are undelegated. They don't have any token on that record, so it's kind of a stale data. There's a lot of them, and it's really slowing down the staking process and also shard zero's performance. So Max implemented our PR to kind of clean up those stale data that PR is mostly ready. We're gonna test on testnet and soon will be launched on mainnet. And on Konstantin's side, he already said he implemented PR feature to reduce the slowness or stop the slowness of the beacon chain sync. Right now, all the other shards validator are syncing the full beacon chain, the full shard0, which is not necessary, and it takes a couple hundreds of gigabytes, and that's a lot of storage waste. And with that PR, all the other shards validator only need to download a couple of, like, just only download the epoch block from the shard0, which is only a couple hundreds of blocks, and that will greatly reduce the storage cost for the non-shard0 validators. Yeah, so that's mostly about the engineering progress on the protocol and chain level.
Great, thanks, RJ. Leo.
So, excuse me. So on the operational side, we are planning to have another release 4.3.7 that to unblock our exchange partner for the withdrawal function. So that's one thing we are focusing on this week. And also we are in the process of deploy the shard LDB to our internal RPC node to improve the efficiency of the of our RPC node. On the Rosetta integration, as I mentioned last week, we finished our side of the work. And for the database and the new architecture for the RPC, we talked to additional database expert, but we haven't, and we've realized there are more work than we initially thought to have a new architecture support a separate reader and writer. So we're refining our architecture to support this. Yeah, that's pretty much all the update.
Got it. And Ganesha.
Yeah, on the trustless Ethereum bridge side, making progress. We resolved the blocking issue and currently planning launch at the end of next month with certain like around 4 smart contract related issues to be fixed. I'm currently finishing a preparation of a sandbox machine with the testnet deployment of the bridge so that all other contributors can utilize it as well. And yeah, on the other, yet to make progress on the Bitcoin bridge feature release and Vault incentives.
Okay. Your progress is
you could say
up to date?
But yeah, 40% on the last one.
40%?
Yeah.
Okay. Great, thanks, Ganesha. Any other updates? Lee, did you have anything you wanted to share?
So no, I think this is good. Everyone should update this before all hands every week. Don't even wait for Give to ping you at this point. So just update it every week so that we can make weekly progress on this. I think we had, yeah, as I think Daniel and Rachel mentioned, we had a good event last week for One Wallet. Worked out. We see a lot of the problems now. As I say, we had 99 problems, but it was a very good learning experience. And yeah, I think just keep it going with the rest of the initiatives. So.
All right. Anything else? Any other updates, announcements? All right. Guess we're ready for our breakout rooms. So, well, just one thing. Performance reviews, they start today. Jack is off today and Matt is still traveling, but they will post an update. They'll let you know what to do but those kick off today. So just keep an eye out for that. Okay. All right, everyone. Have a great week. Speak to you all soon.
Yep.
Bye.